Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo!
Hello, and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. I hope you're enjoying me sharing some knowledge with you about the mistakes that I see people make again and again when trying to commit to a healthy lifestyle. I already had 2 previous episodes, so if you're just tuning into this one, maybe you might want to go back and listen to the other part 1 and part 2 of this 4-part series. This is episode 3 of mistakes people make when trying to commit to a healthier lifestyle. I'm just going to get right into it. No updates this time. Let's get to it. All right. So number 11 of the 20 that I see people make as a mistake towards trying to eat healthier is they remove entire food groups. So I'm sure you've heard this before. People do a high protein diet or a high fat diet or a no carb diet or a low carb diet. Listen, there's definitely specific medical conditions and requirements necessary. Some people might need to follow a lower carb diet or a higher protein diet. You know, it really is specific on their basic needs. However, excluding and ever making it a no carb diet or a no fat diet, then that is only going to lead to further complications. Our bodies need the 4 macronutrients, which are carbs, protein, fat, and water. So we can't expect to be able to stick to or commit to a healthy lifestyle if we're excluding a whole macronutrient category. Because what will happen is, since our bodies need it, we have to consume it to get the health benefits from it, and we're not consuming it, then deficiencies occur down the line. Also, it's very imbalanced, and it creates a restrictive mentality, and you're no longer able to enjoy certain foods that you maybe have enjoyed in the past, and it might start to pour into your social interactions. So a good example of that is no carb diets. Think about never being able to get pizza with your friends or pasta. You know, if you're Italian, I'm Italian. So pasta dinners, stuff like that. You know, if we can never have those things ever again, then that's probably not a healthy term sustainable success. I hope this is making sense. And if it's not, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, Tips with Tony, and I'd be happy to go over that with you. All right. Another thing that I see people do is they focus strictly on calories in, calories out. So maybe they overeat and then they think, okay, I just have to exercise more. Or maybe they purposely undereat because they don't feel like doing their workout that day. Or maybe they don't exercise at all, but they know that their body basically burns, say, 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day, so they intentionally then eat less than that each time. This is kind of a sidebar because I don't even have this on my list, which is another mistake, which is why I said I'm doing 20 mistakes people make, but there are definitely a lot more, is people going on very low calorie diets. So as a female, you should never go below 1,200 calories per day. And as a male, you should never go below 1,500 calories per day, because when you do that, you are going to be missing out on the micronutrients. So I just talked about macronutrients, which are the things we need to be consuming in large portions. Micronutrients are things like vitamin A, vitamin C, fiber, folate, iron, vitamin D, calcium, the minerals that we need that on a regular basis. If we're not consuming enough quantity of food, we're likely to then get a deficiency in something like vitamin D or iron. and then it causes further complications down the line. So very low calorie diets are never good. Also, every time, and this is actually, I don't want to go on a tangent, but what I'll say quickly, even though this is a very, very, very complicated and long topic, every time you do decrease your calories to a very restrictive point, your metabolism adapts to that. And then when you start going back to eating the regular way that you used to eat, the metabolism doesn't go back. It stays low. So if you're constantly restricting yourself of calories, and there's too low of calories, then that's only going to cause further complications down the line, and you're only going to have to continuously work harder and harder to lose the weight if weight loss is a goal for you. All right. Number 13, people think that exercise will solve all of their problems, so they don't even have to change their diet whatsoever. And if they just exercise, then they're automatically healthy. Now, I am a huge, huge advocate for exercise. I do believe that exercising regularly affects your health in many, many ways. Stress management, increasing the good cholesterol in the body. It might make you make healthier choices. But if you think that because you exercise, you now can order, a cheeseburger, french fries, and a Coca-Cola, you're dead wrong. Okay? So exercise is a great thing, but we still have to be eating healthy, balanced, portioned meals. Number 14, if you are tracking your intake, you might be miscalculating your portions. So I usually advise my clients when first starting out to keeping on track with what they're intaking on a regular basis to get things like measuring cups, measuring spoons, and even a scale. I don't think that is something you should do the rest of your life, but I do think it's a great teaching tool to realize, maybe your goal is weight loss and you're not losing weight, but you are eating healthy, but your portions are completely off. And because you've been tracking and you've been saying that you're having, a cup of cereal every day, when you actually measure that out, you realize, oh my gosh, I've been having 2 cups of cereal every day. And then when you've been thinking that you've only been putting like a tablespoon of peanut butter in your smoothie, you realize, oh my gosh, I've been putting 3 tablespoons of peanut butter in my smoothie. And you might be making healthy choices, but in general, you might be miscalculating the total breakdown of what you're consuming on a regular basis just because you're not using the measuring cups or the scale and stuff like that. All right. And lastly, number 15 of the 20. So we'll be getting another episode soon. But number 15 is maybe you're not tracking at all. So I think tracking is one thing that's great because if you can track it, if you can change it. But if you're not tracking at all, chances are you're underestimating how much you're actually consuming. So this happens very often. I'll tell people, they'll come to me and they'll say, and I don't really eat much. I ask them, okay, let's talk about what you had yesterday. And they're like, I don't think I had much. I think when I woke up, I had a bagel. And then for dinner, I had some chicken, and that's really it. And then I'm like, okay, let's go through from morning till night. Let's go through your day. And then they start to tell me, oh, actually, I did at work. They had cookies, and I grabbed a couple cookies. And then I was very hungry when I was driving from work to the gym, so I grabbed a Cliff Bar. And not that, whether this is good or bad or too many calories or not enough calories or all that stuff, and that's just irrelevant. The point is that we usually, if we're not tracking it, we forget what we ate, or we might not even know what we're eating, so therefore there's no tracking. So if we don't track it, we can't change it, and we don't know kind of where's the starting point, and then how do we develop healthier eating habits and behaviors from there. All right, so I hope this was helpful. Wait next week or 2 weeks. I hate saying when the next podcast is going to come out because sometimes it's not always as planned as I'd like it to be, but I'm hoping to get more consistent with that. I too am human, struggle with balancing work and life and play and being consistent. Like, I finally have developed consistency in healthy eating and exercising, and now I got to develop consistency in releasing this podcast because I want you guys to get as much information as you possibly can so you too can reap the benefits of the consistency of healthy eating and exercising regularly. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions or suggestions for future podcasts, send me an email to tipswithtony@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Check out my website, www.tipswithtony.com, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a healthy day.